What is going on, everybody? It is the one and only Q from Retro Q Gaming, and we're here today to talk a little bit about cloud gaming. Now, everyone knows, well, pretty much everyone that's not a rabid fanboy knows that cloud gaming is absolutely awful. The technology does not exist and probably will never exist to make it on par and equal, let alone superior, to locally rendered gaming. That's a fact because, well, that's how speed and technology and data transfer rates work. But anyway, back to the point. So we have, over the last couple of months, a lot of conversations going on when it comes to cloud gaming. Some of them are from Microsoft, some of them from Google, some of them are for third-party publishers and developers. Bethesda has their own one in the works, for example. But we also have a couple of other important ones out there as well. I say important, but, well, that term can be laughably good or laughably bad, depending on how you want to look at it. An example of this is the laughably bad case because, well, we all know Google Stadia, which is pretty much the worst gaming platform that existed in like the last 20 years. And that's pretty high praise. That means it beats out the Xbox One, it beats out the Wii U, and I can't even say it beats out the Dreamcast because, sure, it flopped, but it wasn't bad. Absolutely, it was not bad. Just a horrible situation given around it. Anyway, back to the point. Google Stadia, obviously the worst gaming platform in long-term memory at this point, but we have a couple of other ones going around at the moment, especially with the likes of the brand new release of GeForce Now. For those of you that have been following technology for the last maybe 3 or 4 years, you might know GeForce Now in its original creation, back when it was called NVIDIA Grid. Although back then it was only available on NVIDIA Shield devices, but it's kind of morphed and become something different. It beats out Google Stadia in every possible way. Better hardware, more customization, an overall better experience while playing. And probably key and most importantly, it can actually be played on a multitude of devices, not just one or two that Google have deemed to roll it out to just yet. And of course, it taps into your existing library of games. That's right, of course, if you're using GeForce Now, you can use that to play all your Steam games that you already own. It may support the other stores as well, but Steam is obviously the biggest gaming platform in the world, so I was using that as the example. But the overall purpose of this video is Project Xcloud, Microsoft's version of their whole game streaming, cloud gaming, whatever it is, service. And the real reason I want to talk about that is because of Microsoft's new little interview, a new little announcement, where they claim that they no longer see Nintendo and Sony as competition or adversaries. Which is kind of funny because, as many people have pointed out, and I will gladly do so right now, Microsoft, you have no room to talk. You lost. You're in third place. You're done this generation. Now, of course, I realize what they are going for in this whole sense of what they're talking about, because when you look at it, even though they are launching a new next generation console later this year with physical hardware in the box and locally rendered games, of course they're pushing the whole Project Xcloud thing. So naturally it makes more sense that if you can stream this to pretty much any device, your market opens up from what was usually only maybe 100 plus, slightly over 100 million gamers, or console gamers that is, and your potential market opens to several billion. I get that, I understand that, but here is why cloud gaming, in multiple different ways, doesn't appeal to me, and the whole thing with Project Xcloud, I just don't care. And here's why. So when it comes to Project Xcloud, not only will it be inferior to any PC I'm going to use, it will have artifacts, there's obviously internet and data problems, control latency, buffering, artifacting, whatever it is, all of these things that are not present on locally rendered gaming will be present on such a device. There's the whole monthly subscription thing, which I find absolutely abhorrent, and I can't even get excited for it in the future as the future of gaming or the way forward or what's next, as all of these companies like to push it as. It's clearly 100% an inferior service in general, and let's face it, at the end of the day, if Microsoft make $100 billion a year just from Project Xcloud services, that does absolutely nothing for me. Stuff like that leads absolutely no innovation in gaming. In fact, were they to make so much money from the likes of Project Xcloud over maybe the Xbox One or the Xbox, if anything, Microsoft would be more likely to lean more and develop more for Project Xcloud and the service therein. Meaning they could probably take more money and more development resources and time, personnel, etc. away from properly making games, systems, services, whatever it is. All because one of them would be a complete flop and one of them would be an absolute blockbuster. It's like I've said before about Xbox Game Pass. I don't care if every single person with an Xbox One has an Xbox Game Pass subscription. I don't care if every single person in the world with a PC has the Xbox Game Pass subscription. Sure, that would make billions and billions, if not trillions of dollars for Microsoft, but what benefit does that see me? Absolutely nothing. Just because they're making all that money, it does not mean that they are guaranteed to pump it back in and make better, higher quality games. Microsoft have no money problems at all, and they're still turning out mediocre at best games. There's a reason why all these Microsoft games for the last, well, this entire generation have been getting scores in the 60s. It's not a money and funding issue. So they could be making billions a day on something like that, and I could still not give any shit. Because I don't see any benefit and any return on it. And that is one of the many, many reasons, but arguably one of the two main reasons why I cannot get hyped for Project Xcloud or any of these services, but we're mainly looking at Project Xcloud in this one. Simply because at the end of the day, it offers me absolutely zero. It doesn't guarantee me a better ecosystem or a better development system or anything like that. Hell, if anything, Microsoft have proved that throwing money at stuff arguably gives it lower quality with their track record the last generation. So, I just don't care. I don't care if it can open it up to more people, more friends, more families, more gamers around the world. It can open it to a market of 3 billion plus. I don't care because it doesn't do anything for me. I am sick and tired of looking at the overall market of stuff like I usually do in most of these videos. Now, having said that, I usually do preface it by looking at it from both sides, both from my own one personally and just the market in general, but I don't give a shit about the business side of it. I don't give a shit about the community side of it, and I don't give a shit about everyone else's side of it when it comes to this anymore. And why is that? Microsoft have absolutely no good faith left for me at this point. But hey, we'll see. We'll see what way they can spin it. We'll see what way they can make the fanboys drink the green Kool-Aid. All I can say is since Xcloud is going to be a massive flop, let's hope the Xbox isn't the biggest flop as the Xbox One. Because another generation like that, woo lad. Woo lad. Anyway, let me know in the comments section below your thoughts, feelings, opinions on cloud gaming, Project Xcloud, Xbox One, Xbox, or whatever it is. Let me know all of that in the comments section below. Hit the appropriate button to let me know how I did on the video, and while you're at it, why not head on over and hit the subscribe button and even ring that little notification bell. Granted, getting a notification from YouTube in current year about a new video upload or a live stream or whatever is a whole other story. But hey, at least you can say you tried, am I right? As always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the rest of the videos in my channel.